Peace. Today's mathematics is knowledge. Knowledge is the foundation of all things in existence. Without knowledge, what could you do? Where could you go? That's the first step in any direction. You gotta do the knowledge. Knowledge is to look, listen, observe, and respect all things in existence. It's a process, thought. You know what I mean? Check this out, right? Education is the key, to development in any area and on any level. You gotta educate yourself. That's what it's about. I just want to build on that, the youth, in the inner cities. You know what I mean? Like, that education is important in this day and time on all levels. Like, you have some, like teenagers, they have developed, their own ideas and things like that. So it's like hard to really tell them things, unless they could relate to you. They ain't trying to hear you, So, always understand, like, stay relevant to the children, to the youth. Always try to identify with them. Like, it's a disconnection between the youth and the elders today, and my perspective is that the elders, like, really, they want respect from the youth. Like, yo, you gotta respect your elders. I always heard that all my life, and I always do respect my elders. Always have respect my elders. When I was young, I felt like my elders didn't respect me. And I think that's what's going on in today's society. Like, the youth, they have their own characteristics, their own personality, their own being. You know what I mean? And they want respect just like everybody else want respect. And, if they feel like they not getting respected, if nobody's listening to them or, is paying them any attention, and just trying to dictate the reality of what's going on to them, when they have their own perception of what reality is and what they're going through. You know what I mean? So sometimes in order to help somebody or to get through to somebody, you got to listen to them and to see where they at, see what they got on their mind, see what their knowledge is, because they've accumulated some things throughout their young experience in life. You know what I'm saying? Even down to the little kids, in order to really, cater to them or get through to them or, just interact with them, you got to pay them attention. You know what I mean? You got to listen to them. And then you'll understand how to, like, what areas they need help in. And I think, especially in the urban communities, a lot of youth that's out there, starting to run the streets or that's running the streets, they voice only count amongst them. You know what I mean? And they age bracket or, the level that they in or on with their peers. You know what I mean? They come together and they converse with each other and they deal with things, and they keep that to themselves because, when they do express, their wants, their needs, their desires, their ideas, it gets put on a back burner. It's not really relevant, to their elders because most elders, and rightfully so, they doing what they got to do to provide, pay bills, or whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? And they wrapped up into that, you know what I mean? So this is when the disconnection happens, you know what I mean? So it's up to us, to find a way to relate to the youth and to pay them attention, you know what I mean, in between time. It's time to start taking time out to really, like, sit down and, let them voice their views, their opinions, their ideas, and, then we can show them, where inconsistencies may lie and how, some of their ideas may be illogical or irrational, You understand what I'm saying? But if you don't let them express their ideas to actually see that, and you just try to tell them that, based on what you see them doing, because you know how, you don't know what's on the person's mind till they open their mouth. So you just, you know, see them doing something, and you just tell them it's wrong, like, yo, you can't do that. You don't know their reasons for doing that. The question is, why are you doing that? Like, ask them. Let them express to you why it is they do what they do. Then, once you get that information, you could draw it up and pinpoint the inconsistencies and let them know, like, well, it's a better way to go about that. Or here's where, you can go get help with that to take it to the next level, or whatever the case may be. But if you don't do the knowledge to them first, they're not going to do the knowledge to you. They're not going to acknowledge you. They ain't going to respect you. I respect the youth of the future. That's just the reality. They're going to be here when we gone. So, especially in our communities, young black youth, you want to Latino or Dominican, whatever the case may be, they all original people. You understand what I'm saying? But whatever you identify with, it's a must that we connect with our youth. It's a must that we get on the same page with the youth, and drill education in them. We got to find creative ways to get them into education, to make them like education. And one of my things is, like, when you go to school and in these public school systems, why our children have, issues with school, at first, yeah, learning is you be enthusiastic about learning, but once you start learning, you want to learn about yourself. That's just the truth. Like, everybody wants to hear about themselves, and when we go to these public schools, like, those of us in the urban communities, like the so-called quote-unquote minorities, you know what I'm saying? We rarely hear about us and how great and unique we are as a people. The only history they basically give us is it goes back to slavery, or to when, many of these places was colonialized by Europeans or conquered by Europeans, and, that just, plants a subliminal thought that you're a conquered person or a conquered people, and you gotta be subject to the rule of another people. You understand what I'm saying? And if you don't have knowledge yourself, if you can't see past that, and that's your root and that's your essence of thought, then you won't be able to maximize your potential, because you don't understand the greatness and the majesty of who you are as a person and who your people are as a people. We know and understand Black, Latinos have done wonderful things on this side of the planet. They got pyramids in South America and Mexico and things like that. It's ancient artifacts that show and prove the greatness and majesty of our people, just as well as, over in the East, in Egypt, so-called Egypt, and many other places around the world. Like, it's documented history that we have done great things to advance civilization and to bring civilization up into the degree of where it's at right now. However, that's really not exposed from the foundation. You have to be comfortable in your own skin to be able to develop in the right manner, in a proper fashion. But when you can't identify with the essence of your being, with the nature of who you are, it's going to stunt your growth. Knowledge is the key, man. That's today's mathematics. Today's the 1st of September. It's the born month. It's the 9th month. So let's take this knowledge to born. Let's bring it into existence. Let's reconnect with the youth, with our children, and really, get with them. Listen to them. Let them express themselves. Teach them a culture that's free. I don't care what walk of life you're from. Religion, whatever you deal with, that can't, in my opinion, that's something outside of a person that's taught to a person for a person to internalize. You understand what I'm saying? And if that's what you into, that's secondary to the knowledge itself. Like, you got to teach your children about themselves and who they are. You know what I'm saying? If they subscribe to anything other than that, then that's on them. But you got to actually get them to identify with who they are and their potential and what it is they could do with that potential. And the only limitations, like, people have is the ones they place on themselves. Like, people say oppression, like we oppress people, like, people in the urban communities is being oppressed. Like, once you can say that, like, yeah, we being oppressed, then once you have that knowledge and you continue to be oppressed, you got to come to the realization that it's you oppressing yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you have that knowledge. You know what I mean? Oppressed people that or people that are oppressed don't know that they're oppressed. Once you come to that realization, you rise above that shit. Because I'm not letting a motherfucker keep their foot on my neck or keep me down, regardless of whom or what. In this day and time, we got the internet. You have, it's a gift and a curse. You could be in the net or on the web and trap, or you could utilize that, that avenue to educate yourself, but be mindful. All knowledge ain't good knowledge. Poor knowledge is worse than ignorance. Excuse me. Poor knowledge is worse than cancer, because it kills the mind. Use everything to your advantage. I'm a black nerd. I'm a nerd. I keep it real, and that's like, I say that as a compliment to myself, man, because I like to read. I love to study. I love nature. I love science. I love history. I love everything that got something to do with the development of my mental capacity. I like to think. I like to have intelligent discussions, in all areas about all areas of life. Politics, education, health, psychological issues, like whatever. We could just build, However, once we have knowledge, man, it's about activating that knowledge and putting it in motion in a way that is going to develop, our quality of life. Let's network. Let's work together. Let's do some things, man, for our children, man, and show them the greatness and majesty of who we are, man. And, we have to be that example. Peace to my young Earth, her first day of school today. And that's all I promoted, education. I let her know about herself. She's the queen. She's young Earth. And she could take life wherever she want to take it. I let her know she's unlimited in that area. You could go to, I tell kids this all the time. Straight A's in America, if you get straight A's, you can take a free trip around the world, man, on education, man. But it's about actually, investing yourself, investing your mind into your education, and you could take that wherever you want to go, on every square inch of this planet. You could travel this 196,940,000 square miles, with a free ticket, man, based on your, mental capacity and your level of education, man. Straight A's, get them. Scholarships is official. You just gotta achieve them. One thing that can't be denied is a person's intelligence when it's able to be expressed freely. To everybody that's fighting a good fight, man, for our youth, man, and doing what you could do to get through to them and to build with them and to guide them in the right direction, man. Kudos to you, man. Much respect and love, because it's essential nowadays. The way the world is changing, technology got this shit on a whole nother level. And if you can't get with the process, or you can't think on certain levels, man, you just gonna fall to the wayside. And that's just the reality. I come from a objective perspective right now. You know what I mean? I'm not putting my personal, views, what I deal with, my culture, or none of that. I'm just speaking to the people, to the human families about the development, man, because, this world is the children's. You know, they inherit this world from us. You know, let's try to make it the best that we could make it for them, so that they could, you know, take it, you know, where they supposed to take it, man. Because beautiful things can happen on this planet, man. You know, but if we deal with separation, and you know, we teach our kids that they different from other children, that's gonna keep them divided, and they can't work together and put their minds together to make this world the beautiful heaven that it could be. You understand what I'm saying? That like, if children just understand people for being people, and understand the good and the bad, and be able to identify with that in a person's character, and they understand how to attract to like minds that complement theirs, they'll be able to do wonderful things. And that's what the fuck it's about. It's just about building. You know, it's if you're not building, you're destroying. I teach my daughter to build, to add on to life step by step in a positive fashion, and to destroy the negativity that come on her in her midst by just building on the positive. You know, and kids pick this up right away, because no one identifies with truth more than children, because they untampered with, they undiluted. You know what I mean? They don't have all of the baggage and all of the, you know, bullshit in them yet, until we put it in them. You know, so let's make sure our children have proper knowledge. Proper education always correct errors, man. Let's properly educate our children. Educate mean to bring what's in a person out. You know, not necessarily to put something in a person. You know, because we're internally intelligent. Intelligence is to activate the ability to activate the knowledge that exists within you. You know what I'm saying? To be smart is to take the knowledge that comes from out of you, you know, from elsewhere, and to be able to use it. That's smart, like book smart, you know. You know, that's being programmed. You smart, yeah. We're going like a smartphone. That shit is programmed. All of the knowledge in the smartphone is put into that shit. You know what I'm saying? Intelligence comes from within. Intelligence is an innate ability. You know, and that's the reality of it, man. Peace to the gods and earths. Peace to all the human families, people from all walks of life. You know, I'm not against no people. You know what I mean? I'm for the development. I'm for righteousness. I'm for humanity. I respect everything and everybody. I'm just not with the bullshit, man. The negativity, you know, the destruction. It's retarded. You know, for lack of better terms, it don't add up to destroy, man. You just taking away. You know, unless you're destroying in a positive fashion, meaning you destroy that which is, you know, already in a state of decay, and you build something correct in its place, something vital, something that's going to grow, develop, and flourish, and to be able to be used, you know, by the human families. You know, that's what it's about. Peace. That's how I see today's mathematics, which is knowledge. I build that everybody gets something out of that and take from it, you know, and I'm just continue to do what I do. And every now and then I'm going to put up one of these blogs, building and showing and proving, you know, my love for the people, most of all the youth, because they're the future. You know, that's through them, you know, I continue to live. You know, they carry on the legacy of humanity. And let's just keep it up, man. I know who's who, you know. They show and prove themselves, man. I acknowledge, you know, everybody that's doing what they gotta do, man. You know what I mean? I study, I look, I listen, I observe, and I get in where I fit in, man, and I create lanes. I produce opportunities for myself to build as well as others. So let's keep that up. Peace.